Hey, Kino, that old Boosie talk through that shit. Mama told me, you see him, but you don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to live in it. You folks ain't really living that life, baby. Dead and in jail.
Welcome back to episode 27 of the Randy Wilson podcast. I'm your host, Randy Wilson. We are live in Virginia Beach today at the Virginia Recording Arts Studio with none other than Kino Beats. We're really happy to be here. If you're not familiar with the Virginia Beach Recording Arts Studio, this is the former recording space of Timbaland. So it obviously has had, all kinds of the best acts of music come through this studio. We are operating in class today, so we really appreciate all the folks here at the studio that's putting on this production. I want to shout out all of our sponsors really quick. Randolph Focus, videography, photography, and business consulting services is putting a lot of money and support the Randy Wilson podcast. I'm very appreciative of their services. And if you need any of those things, please reach out to them. Also want to shout out the IndieTube. That's IndieTube.com. It's a platform that's been put together for independent artists and filmmakers to push their products. So definitely check out the IndieTube. Also want to shout out Grind Pray for providing this shirt today. I'm really big in wearing statement brands and wearing Virginia brands, and how every time I go on the show, so I can shout someone out and we can push that thing around. But we're going to talk to Kino Beats today. Let me get into the introduction because there's a lot of things that come with this brother right here. I recently met Kino when doing a Young Crazy interview. If you're not familiar with Kino, you're going to get familiar really fast because I wasn't familiar with Kino. But we're walking down the street in Richmond and everyone's like, that's Kino. And I'm like, am I the only person that don't know Kino? Kino just got done working on Young Crazy's Selling Four Ways.
Yeah, still
Selling Four Ways. Mm-hmm. But he has worked with, Joel Santana, Pharrell, A$AP Rocky, Jeezy, The Roots.
Nappy Roots.
Yeah. Nappy Roots.
So that'd be dope.
Tell us more. I mean, you've worked with so many phenomenal artists.
Yeah, Moneyman. You named a bunch of them. Lil Nar, Wiz Khalifa, a bunch of other guys, man.
Man, I mean, so what I found to be impressive, Kino, in meeting you the first time, and I've also went back and listened to a lot of your interviews as well, and educating myself, is that you're a very humble, down to earth brother. We met, we chopped it up. He was like, hey, I'm going to be doing this event in Virginia Beach. Come down, and here we are. Right. And, that's really something, man, for someone who's traveled the world, been all over the country, been all over the world. Mm-hmm. I was looking, you've been over 100 cities. You've performed all over Europe, China. Mm-hmm. But you still seem to have, I guess, the core of what made you who you are here in Norfolk, Virginia. Yes, sir. Over in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what speaks to that? I mean, I guess you had some good parenting coming up.
Yeah, I think it's just humble beginnings. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, my whole family is Jamaican. You know what I mean? So it's like coming from Kingston, Jamaica, and then just watching my parents make a living in the States. It just kind of just taught me, like, it showed me what the bottom was, So it's like, all right, this is nothing but opportunity here. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take advantage of the opportunities that's available, you know what I mean, and just stay grounded because I know how it is to have nothing,
Do you consider yourself a super producer?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Nah.
Okay. Share with me the beginning. Like, what was the beginning for you coming into knowing that producing music was a big thing of what you wanted to do?
Well, in middle school, I tried to rap, but I was horrible. Okay. I was trash, and I realized that what I was doing was I was selling CDs. I was selling CDs since 6th grade. Like, I've been kind of self-sufficient since 6th grade. So I knew that I had a love for just music in general, and I knew that I could record myself. A lot of people had no idea how to record. People would be outside rapping. So what I started doing was having people come to my house and record when my mom was at work. You know what I mean? So they would come over, I record them, and I started to try to make beats for them and stuff like that. And I would charge them to record in my bedroom. And I was like, oh shit, I get paid for this. Okay. And That's really it.
In
like,
6th grade.
In 6th grade, yeah.
So while you're doing those things, are you in the show choir at school, or are you
I was-
exercising art in any other ways?
Yeah, I was just a band guy.
Okay.
Like I played trumpet. Like I was brass captain like for trumpet. Like,
Okay.
all through high school. Like that was my thing. Like I was a band guy. I was an instrumentalist. But yeah, it was really more so the technology that really drove me to it. And what really, like, when I was in high school, like I was like a big, like, I was into IT. Like I wanted to travel like through that route, like do that. And my teacher was telling me, I had a teacher that straight up told me, he was like, hey, I see you doing the music thing, and I know what you're doing in my class, and I'm not going to tell on you, but I know what you're doing. And he's like, you know this computer stuff, but you're going to be bored. You're going to make a lot of money, but you're going to be bored. He was like, go chase your dreams. You know what I mean? And I like to always tell that story because a lot of times people come up here and just say, yeah, my teachers told me I wasn't going to be shit. Like, the teacher didn't tell you weren't going to be shit. You just was just fucking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I knew I had an option, you know, and pursuing music was an option I decided to take, you know.
Mm-hmm. Was you ever an artist, visual artist? Did you paint? Did you draw? None of that?
Nah, and that's what...
It's interesting when this stuff is what intrigues you at such a young age.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I used to record. I used to hit record and play at the same time.
Right, exactly. Like, for real, it's so wild because I used to always tell my parents, I was like, I'm not creative. You know what I mean? Like, because I can't draw. Like, I can't draw for shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I used to always say, yeah, I'm not creative. Like, I can't draw. I'm not into art. Not realizing that what I was doing was a form of art. You know what I mean? Just in a different perspective.
So 6th grade, you're having your friends come over. You're recording music.
Mm-hmm.
You said self-sufficiency. You're creating an income now.
Yeah, I'm making a lot of fucking money. I'm talking about I was making a lot of money in middle school. Like, for real. Like, I think, like, at least for a middle school student, it was a lot of money. Like, I think some days I could make like $200, $300, some days even $500 in a day. Wow. Like, selling CDs and stuff. I remember one day I got caught. This is 9th grade. I got caught. I had a Nextel, the i870, the one you press the button and it flips up on its own. Yeah. I had one of those. I had a Sidekick. I had a Pocket PC, and I had a variety. I had 4 cell phones, iPod, a Zoom, and a bag full of CDs. Like I was really hustling. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was always my thing. You know what I mean?
So you were able to be influential, obviously, on your artistic peers in the community.
Right, exactly.
The artists, they came to you. I'm sure to some degree it probably kept people out of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, for real. Yeah. Because
I mean, you make $300-500 a day. That's definitely going to be encouraging to somebody who's sitting on the block and
exactly,
you know, getting $10 here and there.
Exactly, like it was whole like rap groups that started to form. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like rap groups was forming. It was like a whole it was like a cultural shift, and like for people that's from the 757, they may remember it was a certain time period where. In Military Circle Mall, there was a recording booth, and I was running that recording booth in the mall. So it was a time where the mall was really the hangout spot. Everybody came to Military Circle Mall to hang out, and we had the studio. So there was like a lot of violence going on at that time, whether it be at Flipper McCoy's or just around the surrounding areas. But people knew that they could come to the mall and just kick it. You know what I mean? And that was around that was 10th, 11th grade time period. Okay. Or even like before then, just neighborhood kids would know that instead of just playing the block, they could come to my house and, you know what I mean, kick it and work.
Okay. So we'll move on through school. Like, was there any... At what point did you recognize some form of significant success outside of money? Yeah. As it pertains to the arts. Like what was the first?
The first thing that popped in my head is I did a record for this guy by the name of NOE, and he was he actually did the chorus for the song Bird Gang Money for Jim Jones. Yes. And I sent him the beat, and his manager contacted me and told me, yo, he wants to shoot a video, and he wants to use the song, and he was in Baltimore. So I think I was like 17. We went up to Baltimore, and I drove up there. A couple of my friends, we got to met Jim Jones there, Jim Jones' cousin, and you gotta remember at that time Jim Jones is so I'm like, oh shit, I'm in the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're shooting a video, like they got hundreds of people on the block, like they're all rocking out to my production, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, this is a good feeling, you know, and that's what that was one of the things that kind of like jump started me to like really pursue it even more.
Was that bag right?
Nah.
It wasn't no bag.
I don't even remember. I don't even think I got paid for that, to be honest, bro. I'm not even going to lie, bro. I was just eager. I was just so eager.
Well, I think that's a good point. So tell me, there's a lot of aspiring artists, a lot of aspiring producers, they're developing, they're evolving, and they're not quite, a lot of them that are listening may not quite be where you are.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that journey? Because I mean, we was talking before the interview about it's the work. It's about putting in the work.
Yeah, I feel like it's not a bad thing. I feel like it's necessary. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where you get a lot of you get a lot of assholes. You know what I mean? I feel like you have to have that part of the journey to humble you. You know what I mean? To understand, like, it takes time before somebody explain, like, oh no, this is how this goes, and this is what you're supposed to get, and this is what you deserve. You know what I mean? I feel like if you come in the game and you're making beats for a year, and then you make a hit, and somebody just give you a 6-figure bag, now you're just walking around. Excuse my language, but you walk around with your dick in your hand, like, hey, you got to pay me $50,000 to be like, no, you're not really worth that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I feel like you have to go through the journey. That's what creates your story. Yeah. You know, and when you don't go through the journey, then you kind of lose a lot of character.
I think that probably speaks for all creatives. You know,
exactly.
Producers, artists, podcasters, DJs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at what point through this journey did you and Lex Luger get together?
I think that was about like 2014, 2015.
So I'm moving too far ahead then.
Yeah,
let's go back. Let's go back. Explain to me the journey, but from getting with Jim Jones, Dipset, and then tell me the next steps.
The next steps along that time period was that was just me traveling a lot. Like me, that was just me traveling, kind of trying to hone my sound. I began working with Jay Bray. And we had a studio downtown Norfolk, Radio Ready recording studio. And he established that in 2005. I started working out of that studio in 2007, 2008. And it gave me like a home. Like I had a hub to really just start to like bring just artists around. So that had me, I don't want to put a number on it, but I think just about anybody that was doing music from that time period to now in the 757 and some of the 804 area knew me for doing that. Like they had to stop through there. Yeah. I don't think it's not too many artists that was doing music that could tell you like they weren't either familiar or regulars or been through those doors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we are in the 757 and obviously, you know, I live in the 804. Can you shout out some of those artists that you dealt with at that time?
Man, like I'll go even further north. Like, of course, like you have like the Young Crazies, the Young Money Yans, the Breeze Barkers, the B.O., C.O., I'm just thinking like just other guys that's like recently that a lot of people like, some people are surprised like when I'm like with these guys, when I speak to some of these people, and they're like, oh damn, I didn't even know you know him. I'm like, what do you mean did I know? I've been knowing him since 2009. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, so it's crazy. But even beyond that, my first like bit of kind of like trying to conquer the world was like going straight to DC. So I started working with like the Phil Days and the Black Cobains. Chaz French, Light Show, Fat Trell, like all of these guys, and like I had Fat Trell come to the studio down here in Norfolk working with our Regime. Bunch of man, it's really too many to name. You know what I mean? So it was just connecting the whole Virginia all the way up to the DMV.
But you, like you said, it started working for you when you started you was moving around. You started traveling, and obviously you'd saved up money since middle school.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm thinking like you was exactly. You seem to be you was probably a very mature kid at that age.
Yeah, but I was hard headed. That's one thing I do kind of regret. I was hard headed in the fact that I always felt like doing it on my own. You know what I mean? So I was spending a lot of money too because I would go and rent a car, and okay, you're under 25, so you got to pay the rental fee. All right, fuck it, you know what I mean? And I paid hella money for the rental. I go get my own hotel, you know, and other people at the time, I'm seeing people just hop in the car with somebody and ride. I'm like, I'm not waiting on nobody. I'm going to go get it myself. So I end up spending a lot, you know what I mean? But it was an investment.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it's obviously paid off.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Lex connection.
Yeah, so then moving forward from just, you know, I feel like I honed the city as the producer of the area as far as everybody knew what was going on. And I was engineering daily. Lex was in Atlanta. When he came back to Virginia, it just naturally like connected.
Yeah.
I was with your boy Black, and he's like, man, you got to meet Lex, bro. You got to meet Lex. He back in town. I already told him about you or whatever, and I met him, and we just clicked. Like, it's really that simple.
So I was doing my research, and I think this is a little dated, but like you probably got 30 million streams of music out there, or more than that.
There's no telling.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the last documented date, and this was like probably over a year ago. It was like 20-some million streams. So it's just, and Europe seems to be, shout out to Europe, because we know they listening, because you seem like you have a major fan base in Europe.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about moving through Europe and the fans out there, and like what have you done that's
yeah, like, see, you bring up Lex, and I definitely gotta take my hat off to Lex, because that's where it really began with when I linked with Lex. I wasn't DJing at the time, and I was talking to him. I was like, man, you got enough music where we can go to a club and play your music for an hour long, and the club will rock the whole time. You know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, but I ain't really proud DJ. I was like, well, I'll learn how to DJ, and we could book it with you. I'm like, it's enough money for us to make. Like, let's do it. So he's like, all right, come on, fuck, let's do it.
Use your name.
Yes,
I'll do the work.
Exactly. So we so I really like kind of self-taught myself how to DJ. There's a couple of DJs that, you know, I would just like shadow and just, you know, see what's going on. But taught myself how to DJ, and we started gigging. And when our first like overseas gig was Paris, France, and yeah, we went over there and landed off the plane. And I guess this is around the time when Instagram was like just really booming, and I think we had made a post that we were coming over there. So like our first time landing in Paris, France, we get off the plane, and in the airport, some guy comes up. He's like, Lex Luger, Kino Beats, I seen you on the internet. You are here. And I was like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, we're in France, bro. Like, and I was like, oh, I got to make this shit, like, go crazy. You know what I mean? And then that's really just putting more focus into it.
Seems like, so there appears to be some homage and some respect that's given to American hip-hop music from Europe, maybe even more than...
Yeah, more than here. Yeah, for sure. Like, they will, like, it's so many songs that I have to credit to Europe for me even knowing. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just, like, we could leave right now and go over there and ride around in a car with somebody from there, and you'll be like, what song is this? And they'll be like, oh, it's new Young Thug. You haven't heard it? And you'll be like, how are you putting me on Young Thug songs? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's how it really is. You know what I mean? It's so many songs because... And I tell artists this all the time. Artists get discouraged and feel like, man, I got 300 views, man. But then you have a random comment there that says, I'm rocking with this from Belgium. That's a real person.
Yeah. And
that person and his friends are in the house really listening to your shit on repeat. You know what I mean? So, they don't, obviously the world clout chases, but when it comes to American music, they don't clout chase American music. If they like your music, they're going to rock with you. They don't care if you have 10 views or 10 million views.
It says something about the fan over there, though, because a lot of people just listen to what they hear in the music.
Right.
Sometimes they only hear the artist. They're listening to the artist, past the artist. They're catching the vibe. They're checking the credits.
Exactly.
They learn who the producer is.
Exactly. They want to know everything involved with it. And then you have a good percentage of them that don't speak good English from these different countries, where the vibe is everything. Like they have no idea what the song is about, but they just love how the vibe is. You know what I mean?
It's crazy if they're learning English through the music.
That's how they do. Especially like a lot of people tell me, a lot of the girls out there I notice they learn English through movies.
Like you, Ratchet.
Yeah, for real. Like I mean, it's some people that I really built like good relations. Like I have a lot of good friends from Europe, and I have to really tell them like, yo, don't say that. Like no, but I heard it in a yeah, but don't say shit like that. You can't just you can't walk up to people and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, no, that's not how you speak to people. Like, and they're like, oh, I heard it on the song or I heard it in the movie. I thought it was cool. Like, no, that's not cool. You know what I mean?
What about you have a Chinese website?
Yeah, I have.
I can't. I tried to interpret it, but I was having some challenges.
Yeah.
It wasn't Americanized yet.
I got like I have a whole Chinese identity.
Man, this boy, he rich. He got an Asian website. Like I can't even find nothing on like regular American Google.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, but the reason for that is because everything in China, everything from America is banned in China. You know what I mean? Maybe not everything, but like Instagram, Twitter. A lot of the social media is banned in China. In order for you to use it, you have to use a VPN. So you have to use a VPN server, which basically places you in a different location on your phone or your laptop. So they have their own social media. They have a social media by the name of Weibo, and then they also have a social media by the name of WeChat. So this is what they use to communicate. So when I'm over there, as I started building a fan base over there, I had to have those created, and I have guys over there that just manage it. And I'm like, I wanted to say this, and they just they put it in there. You know what I mean?
So what's different between the fans in China?
Fans in China, it's a bigger language barrier. In Europe, a majority of people speak English in Europe for the most part. You know, sometimes it's hard to understand. Sometimes they say, "Oh, I'm sorry for my English," but they can still speak more. In China, if somebody doesn't speak English, they just don't speak English. And with them, their style of music that they love from here is the more aggressive music. You know what I mean? Like they love aggressive trap music. Okay. Like from what I've seen with my eyes, it's like they want, since they can't understand the words, they want music they can jump up and down to and bounce to. That's their style. They want to jump. They want the energy. Yeah. So all the music with energy they go for. With like European culture, it's a little bit more, just a little bit more laid back. They love the energy, but it just depends. Because when you say Europe, that's a broad term. Yeah. Like France has its style. Germany has its style. Italy has its style. You know, it's all different.
You produce music for the hottest hip hop group out of China, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, Higher Brothers.
And they're like the Migos of China?
Yeah, they run China. They run the world now, man. They were just on Rolling Loud. They just did an American tour, matter of fact. They did a bunch of dates in America. Yeah,
man. Much kudos to you, man. Much success to you. Like
man, appreciate that, man. But it's so much more to do, man.
I know,
but so much more to do.
But you know, it's because of what you've done. Like obviously, you're fueled. You have higher goals. Do you have any young producers that you're bringing up?
Yeah. Actually, I do. But I kind of look at it right now as I got them in like a probational phase. So right now I'm just kind of watching them. You know what I mean? Like it's like I have them under my wing and I'm talking to them, but I'm kind of seeing where their loyalty really lies, because what I'm noticing and what I've seen too many times in this game is you give somebody a bone, give them an inch, and they just go and run with the mile in a whole other direction, and then you're standing there like, bro, I had all of this lined up for you, bro. So, you know, I'm just I'm taking it a step at a time.
That's real smart. We got to jump back into America. Okay, we're coming back to America.
Long flight, bro.
Let's talk about this new Young Crazy album.
Yes, sir.
That thing's spinning like crazy.
Yeah, it's
spinning. I mean, what was it like you guys getting back together doing work?
Oh man, it was perfect timing. I feel like because me and Crazy have about 30, 40 songs. Like I always joke with him, like I feel like we drop a 4-track EP, but I feel like we've been working on these 4 tracks since 2014. You know what I mean? Because every so often, like I'll leave and then I'll come back to Virginia. And I'm like, yo, Crazy, man, we got to work. And we'll go to the studio and we'll do song after song after song. And then I'm like, bro, we got a project. Let's drop it. And he'll be like, yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm like, bro, come on, let's drop it. I'm ready. I'm like, come on, let's drop it. He's like, nah, I don't know. And then another year or two go by. And we'll get back in the studio and we'll do like 7, 10 more songs.
So what's he stalled for? kind of creative process is he going through right now?
Yeah, now his style, which I told him like I learned to respect his style. His style is he knows what he wants. You know what I mean? Which I respect the hell out of just as an artist. You know what I mean? Like he's working to create the records that last. You know what I mean? And I'm taking it to him as, bro, like, I'm Kino Beats in Virginia. You Young Crazy in Virginia, bro. These songs hot as hell. Let's go. Yeah. And he like, yeah, they hot, but we need them. Like, we need them songs where it don't matter where we at. We play them, and people's just like, what the fuck? Like, to each and every one of them. And I'm like, bro, this is, like, I'm just like, come on, bro, this is it. Like,
I'm a little surprised, though, you being a producer and him being an artist, that it ain't the other way around.
Huh?
I'm surprised that it's not the other way around. I feel like the producer would typically be more patient.
Be hold up. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird like that, man. It's weird. Like, it's weird. And I mean, through these time periods, like we've released, like if you look into his discography, like I produced a record called Money and Time for him, which he did and shot a video for. It's another one called man, I can't remember the fucking name of the song, but a record with Lud Foe, Broke, and man, 5 a.m. in Norfolk. And we got a bunch of songs that we just kind of been releasing one-offs. But I think more so the hold up with us actually putting the project together, it wasn't necessarily the music, more so of the rollout for a project. And I respect, that's what I respect him as an artist, understanding that he doesn't want to just put a project out. Because, you know, especially in this day and age, everybody's like, all right, we got 7 songs done. Let's upload it on TuneCore, DistroKid, and put it out and let them eat it up. Like, no, he wants to create a plan for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it made sense. Like, I'm telling him, like, yo, I'm going to be in Virginia for some time. He's like, all right, if you're here, then we can actually come together.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
he's a smart young man.
Yeah,
obviously.
he got it together for sure.
He obviously a smart young man. You went to ODU, Norfolk State.
Norfolk State.
And what did you study there?
Mass communications and music technology.
You ever go back and lend your skills?
Well, I did like speaking engagements there, and sometimes I go to 91.1 radio station and just do things there.
DJ B's that guy down here, is that correct?
Yeah, DJ B's a legend in Virginia.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with him until I was interviewing DJ Ray Vaughn, and I don't know if you're familiar with Ray Vaughn. Ray Vaughn was, I said, who was your inspiration coming up in your Virginia Beach? He said DJ B.
Yeah.
DJ B.
I've been hearing DJ B on the radios for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. You ever go on the radio and mix?
Overseas.
Yeah.
Never here, but for me, it's really, I think it was something I never really put my energy into.
Because right now you got bangers out there that you can go play a club for a couple hours if you want.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it. But
that's another bag of money that
right to go tap into. I just feel like for me, my thing was I never wanted to really be. I didn't want to be looked at as a DJ. You know what I mean? I was like tunnel vision. Like I specifically started DJing to travel. You know what I mean? Like that was my sole goal for DJing. Like even up to now, like coming up in the spring season, I'm planning a European tour and then another Asian tour, and that was the goal. Like I figured, like okay, making these hot beats is like all right. The only way I'm going to be able to travel is if I catch a big record and get a lot of money. Then I'm gonna have to pay to travel. But if I learn how to play this music in a cool way, they're gonna pay me to come to these cool places.
Smart.
So that was the whole thing. So what I did was when I started learning how to DJ, I did the 757 circuit. You know what I mean? Like I DJ'd at every single club in this area. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I really used that as practice. I used that as practice to start to doing that stuff. And when I started to travel overseas, it kind of spoiled me from DJing here.
Got you. We're approaching April. April 20th through April 26th. April 20th through the 26th is something in
Shout
the water.
Shout out to Crush Groovy, man. Crush Groovy just got the DJ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, shout out to Crush Groovy. Definitely. I think he's the DJ right now for Virginia that's really making it visibly. He's just everywhere right now.
Yeah, I like what he's doing. And I always tell him every time I see him, DJ Izzy the DJ. He's like my favorite DJ here. But yeah, it's between Izzy the DJ, Crush Groovy, and it's a lot of other guys, man.
There's a lot of guys. For sure. What can we expect from you in the water? I know you could be at the water, in the water. You're gonna be somewhere.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though? The bad thing that I'm trying to balance out right now is I just got an offer on the 19th.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
In Italy.
Ooh.
So I'm like, ew. I want to be in the water, but
Italy got water too.
Italy got water too, and that's what I'm saying. No,
what's some dollars like in Italy? What's the money? What's
it's
the difference?
Euros is worth more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more. And then the thing about
the
it,
water
is,
be here.
No shade to them, but nobody. I don't know why. Like for me, like, I think that's what humbles me as well, because a lot of times people put me on like a certain pedestal when it comes to music here, and for me, I'm like, when it comes to something in the water, nobody calls my phone now. You know what I mean? Nobody says, hey, Kino, we're doing this and we want to. No, like, shit, I would be buying a ticket just like anybody else. You know what I mean? Like,
come on,
for
man.
real.
Come on.
Seriously, last year, the only reason, last year when I went to Something in the Water, I went with Cap G. You know what I mean? Cap G's an artist. He's actually signed to Pharrell, too, Atlantic and Pharrell, whatever the situation is. But it was because of Cap G.
This is ridiculous, by the way. I really have a hard time believing this.
Yeah, in real life, the first day of Something in the Water last year, I think we just walked up and down the strip, just kicking shit. And then the next day is when Cap G came in, and I had actually booked Cap G in China like a couple months prior. So I just hit him and was talking to him and his manager, and I'm just like, yo, y'all coming to Virginia? He's like, yeah, bro, come link with us, bro. We'll get you a pass. You know what I mean? But if it wasn't for Cap G, I don't think nobody in Virginia was calling my phone to say, hey, Kino, come to Something in the Water, or we're doing this little presentation, and no, bro.
Well, crazy though, he hit it on the head in the interview, because he was talking about, artists can build their own stage. I mean, the platform has been set, but there's money to get on the water, on the boardwalk, in the club. There's so many opportunities.
And that's the beautiful part about it. That's why I say I would never shade it, and I never talk shit about it, because it's a beautiful thing that's going on. My opinion with it, just when it comes to the local market, is just I feel like it could be more local involvement. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But that's gonna forever be the argument. You can't please everybody, and I realize that. So I get it from both sides of the fence, because just me actually being on the street level in Virginia, I hear the rumblings and I hear what everybody out here how they feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on the I guess political side of it, and just them putting it together side of it, I understand their point of view too, because they have to do something that works for them as well. So it's.
Well, what did you think about when last year Chad, Pharrell, Timbaland, Pusha, they all spoke about the local artist scene, and Crazo got shout-outs from Timbaland.
We don't need. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say we don't need shout-outs.
You don't.
But I salute that. But,
I'm saying, but you don't. I mean, that was a start, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, Timbaland got a whole project with Crazy. You know what I mean? That was. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of torn in half, because I get the annoyance of a lot of people in the 757 kind of just complain and kind of feel like, you know what I mean, come on guys, help us. So I hear that complaint, but at the same time, I do see the other side of the argument where it's like, you guys can't help a little bit more, or so it's like, I feel like it kind of go both ways, you know what I mean? Because the shout outs and all that is like, they don't. The reason why I say they don't need a shout out is because if you tonight go to a club, if you go to a club in Norfolk, Virginia, Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, anywhere in this area tonight, you're gonna hear the young boy Glizzy. He got a song called Left to Right that's blowing up in the clubs right now. You're gonna hear Glizzy's record. You're gonna hear Me and Crazy record Spin. You're going to hear B.O. Smook. He got I'm a Dog record. You're gonna hear Regime, Kick Door Shorty. You're gonna hear it's songs in this area. It's artists that have music that's circulating in the club, and they're not playing it because they're begging the DJ. They're playing it because the streets of the area is begging the DJ to play these songs.
Yeah.
So in a lot of other markets, the OGs and the elders of the area would see that and be like, "Hey, youngin, come here."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the part that I get. Now at the same time, it's like they don't have to do that, so you can't bitch and moan to them about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's, you know what I mean? It kind of go both ways.
That's,
so
that's the difference between Virginia and Atlanta.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because I mean, you can be a multimillionaire in Atlanta and only be really known in Atlanta, but it's because of the street's value versus the people's perception of the industry.
Exactly, but a lot of times people use people always use Atlanta as an example, and I feel like that's not even fair. You know what I mean? Like when I'm making these comparisons, I'm not even thinking about Atlanta. I'm talking about Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, New Orleans, Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Fuck any other city.
Yeah.
That is just the food chain of how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like that part kind of it lacks here. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's not that kind of that helping hand. And when it happens, it happens kind of like in a weird way, you know, that doesn't seem really organic. And that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I'm hoping we see you at the water, but they got to bring that back. They
want me to buy a ticket.
Well, hey.
I ain't got my ticket yet, so I might not be at the water.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get feedback, guys. I put my media pass in, and I ain't heard anything yet, but Randy Wilson Podcast needs to be at something in the Water Festival because I brought you all the dopest hip-hop artists in Virginia in the past 10 months. And you produced for Pharrell.
It's crazy, man.
Hey. So, man, moving and shaking. Again, something in Water Festival, April 20th through April 26th. If you are paying attention to this podcast, we encourage you to come down to Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Even if Kino ain't on the stage.
Yes, sir.
But we hoping that Kino's on the stage. And if he ain't on the stage, he'll be in Italy. So, it's like, he winning. Yeah. You're winning regardless, man.
Yes, sir.
What can you share with us that we can anticipate and expect coming new in 2020, this year of Vision? I know you got some things going on.
Yeah, man. Like
new songs, new music, new collabs.
That was the whole thing. Like I feel like between 2016 and 2019, like my whole like goal and purpose was traveling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I got to travel more. Like I said, I did the DJ thing and got that going. This is the official first year coming back to the music. You know what I mean?
So you hungry, I'm imagining.
Yeah, exactly. I'm treating myself like a new producer. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I feel like a new producer with experience, you know?
Okay.
So that's how like I'm just attacking everything. So I've been working a lot with artists by the name of Lil Nar. Actually, I just did 2 of his new singles. He signed to 10K Projects, same labels like Trippie Redd and a bunch of other guys. So that's gonna be a real big situation. I've been working with Dage Loaf. I just did a record with Danny Lay. That's going to be dropping soon. I've been working with Gucci Mane's artists, Maul and Lil Quill.
So you working with Gucci Mane's artists. So do you think Gucci Mane's paying attention to Young Crazy?
He got to.
Yeah.
He got to.
Yeah, but everybody saw the post out there. Gucci Mane's looking to sign a big artist in 2020.
Yeah.
Crazy got a lot of tags on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and they got vibe. They got similar vibes.
Yeah, it's the same situation, but you know, it's the same thing I tell Crazy with that perspective too, though, because it's a big world, man.
And he knows, and you're working with his artists.
Yeah, exactly. It's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
It's all connected. It's a big
shout out to
world,
Glass, because Glass was pumping it as well.
Yeah, Glass the homie,
mm-hmm.
for sure.
You did an interview with Glass as well. Glass seems like he's just.
That was a couple of years.
He seems like he's the academics of the 757.
Sure.
We can just say he's probably the academics of Virginia.
For sure. Glass get a lot of hate, but man, I love everything that Glass is doing, because at the end of the day, it's like he plays the same. That's why I would give him that moniker, the academics of Virginia, because he plays that same card as academics. It's like, bro, you posted it. You know what I mean? Somebody be like, bro, why you post this? You posted it. I just reposted it, bro. My bad, it got more hits on my page than yours, but
he doesn't mind dealing with the controversy.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care because he has a goal of what he's doing. You know what I mean? And I respect it. Glad somebody that's been in my crib and we chopped it up. Like, I really got to pick his brain, and Glass is smart. He know what he's doing.
I just learned that Glass was an artist himself. I didn't know he did music.
And his brother is Izzy. Izzy the producer.
I did not know that.
Yeah, his brother is Izzy the producer.
I did not know that.
And Izzy is
small world.
Shout out to Izzy. Izzy is going crazy. He's been going crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Glass, man. Glass is gonna be on the show soon.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the artists out here in the 757. They was giving me a little hate on the internet, saying, "Why don't you ever come to the 757?"
Well, you here now.
I don't know. I came to the 757 though. I did. Right. I was in Military Circle Mall when I did the Pretty Boy interview.
Okay, yeah, Pretty.
Yeah, so I never been to Military Circle Mall, by the way, until that time.
Real?
So yeah, I didn't.
You know,
I didn't know what I was walking into.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie too. Like,
I got robbed out at the door.
That's what I'm saying. It gets sticky. It gets a little sticky. But now, like, Military Circles, like, I wish that they would. I wish that they would drop the mall title at this point because I actually like what they're doing now because they're changing Military Circle Mall instead of it being a mall, it's more of a cultural center, if you will. Like, because it's like a lot of the stores are leaving, but then what's being replaced now is shout out my boy Dat Artist. He has his art gallery in there. I forget the guy's name, but it's a guy that has like a video studio in there. Yeah, it's like a boxing. I met him. It's Michael.
The Wavy. It's a guy. He's a professional. He plays different instruments, and he's a world traveler.
Exactly.
Yeah, Big Twin he had Deconstructed Garments.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
But it's coming back as something new.
Right. So that's my whole thing. Is like it's so many different things. Like the mall, like. I watched the mall go from here. I watched the mall, like, if anybody, like, knows the area, they remember Hex. Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember when Hex was there. I remember when they took Hex out, and they're putting a Macy's, and we're like, oh, shit, we're going to get a Macy's?
To come up.
And that's when we were wearing Rockaware and Academics and Sean John and shit. Yeah. So it was like, damn, they got a Macy's. And then I watched it go from that to losing Sears, losing Macy's, losing JCPenney, losing all the department stores. So now, if it doesn't have any department stores, then it can't be a fucking mall. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not a mall, but it's been replaced with a lot of black business owners. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, all right, make it a cultural center. Yeah, and then I guess somebody's dropping the bag and building it back up. Let's build it back up because that was growing up. That was the hangout spot. You met at Military Circle Mall. You had your pager on you or your first little prepaid cell phone, and you'll walk around and try to bag girls at the mall. Yeah. That was the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There was another artist I wanted to ask you about. Is it Little? It's a lot of Lils out there.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
Lil Quill?
Yeah, Quill.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he signed to Gucci.
That's the artist. So that's the artist you're working with.
Yeah, I just did 2 on his new project he just dropped.
So I may sound a little ignorant here, but like I didn't understand the post on Crazo. Like it's a post with someone holding a chain. I'm trying to understand that.
Can't speak on that. I don't know. You gotta ask Crazy about that.
Is that it? But it wasn't posted on Crazy's page. Posted on Glass posted it. I think. Is this some top secret stuff?
Nah, Crazy posted it. Crazy posted it with the 1017 chain.
Yeah, I mean you can't break that down to me.
I don't know nothing about it, man. You gotta ask Crazy.
Lil Quill, is it Lil Quill in that picture?
No.
All right, I'm gonna have to do some more research on that. I'm to better understand that. Got something to do with Gucci Mane, though, huh?
Yeah, I guess 1017 is label.
Ooh, you heard it first right here on the Randy Wilson podcast. You heard it first on the Randy Wilson podcast. Hey, see, for a minute I thought I was in some street stuff I didn't need to be involved with. You know, ain't no thug over here. You said it's Gucci Mane, man.
No, I'm saying it's a 1017. He put a 1017. It's on his Instagram. I don't know why he posted it, but that's what he posted.
Y'all felt the vibes.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know who Lil Quill was though. I was just trying to figure it out.
Lil Quill and Maul. They're a rap group, but they're their own entities. But both of them are they're signed under 1017 Alamo. Okay. And they're both under Gucci's label / Alamo, and Quill just dropped his own solo project, but they're a group.
So you got a lot of you got kids?
No kids.
Okay, so like you got a lot of fans, man. You got a lot of fans travel all over the world. Yeah. A lot of female friends, obviously. Let me ask you this, man. Let's get a little personal, okay? You mind? I won't embarrass you. Nothing crazy. For a brother like you that's moving so much and traveling so much and working so hard, do you have time to engage in a relationship?
Nah,
because it seems like you were in love with your
passion first. Yeah, and that's
does a woman fit in the picture at all?
Yeah, that's where it get kind of tricky because I was in a long-term relationship for a little while, and that was what kind of severed the ties really because it's like, hey, look, I'm not gonna lie, if you gonna pick this or that, like if it's gonna be music or you, like I have to go with the music because at the end of the day, you might leave, and I'm on my ass, But if I follow this shit, it's gonna be here forever. Yeah, you know what I mean. And any female that I've ever been involved with on that level, like I always remain like still got good relationships with. So like I don't have like I feel like I'm blessed. Like I don't have any bitter exes or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I mean I am getting older, so I do want to settle down and start to have kids and stuff at some point. But I still feel like I have to get to where I see myself, you know what I mean? I have a certain goal in mind that I want to get to, and yeah, that's my primary focus.
Is there like a certain amount of money you want in the bank?
Yeah,
Or is there a certain amount? Is there a certain amount of plaques on the wall?
Yeah, it's both of those, but it's neither. You know what I mean? Like it's more so setting up my residuals. You know what I mean? Setting up, having it set so that I'm comfortable in my space, knowing that okay, no matter what I do, these residuals are always going to be set. Whether that comes from a hit song with royalties, or whether that comes from a certain business move that I make at a time, because that's one of my things that I love to just do different, you know what I mean, businesses and stuff like that. So whether it's a move that I do that I feel like, all right, now I'm content. Like I just went out here and I purchased these properties, or I went out here and I did this, and this is rolling in and it's doing what it's supposed to do. Now I could fall back and focus on.
So you are making time to do those things outside of the music.
Exactly. I preach, like I said, getting outside of the studio, because I watch people burn out forever, and that's why I feel like I was blessed at seeing so many people with hit songs on the radio, producers with hit songs on the radio, and they like, hey, bro, shit, let's go get something to eat. I'm like, all right, let's go sit down somewhere. Yeah. I ain't really trying to sit down. You ain't trying to go to like Wendy's or McDonald's. I'm like, bro, I don't fucking eat Wendy's, bro. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, you got a hit song on the radio, bro. Like, let's go somewhere good, bro. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like, so it's like I seen that enough to know that, you know, it's deeper than trying to just make just music. You know what I mean? Because the music money comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. Where are you gonna set your money in order for your money to grow? You know what I mean? And that's where my focus is right now. You know what I mean?
I mean, with all the moving and shaking that you're doing, do you have a team around you that supports you? That helps you be more efficient?
Not as best as I would like it to be. You know what I mean? Like I do have people that I can call for certain things, but I always felt like that's where I kind of lacked that, actually having like a set team, just like of people that is just boom, boom. And that's why I always cuss a lot of my friends out about it, because it's been different times where I had friends that were doing things in multimedia formats that I'm like, bro, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole and say just focus on me, but my nigga, I got Paris, Toulouse, I got all these countries coming up, and you do this, bro. Just help me. You know what I mean? So it's like, a lot of times, like, I have to do everything myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I could blame myself too, because I could be kind of stubborn and standoffish for certain situations, but it kind of go both ways.
Yeah, well, what I'm learning, when I got into this podcast thing, the whole goal was to build a team, and then I realized that
it doesn't work without
it. Doesn't work, but it don't typically work that way either. It's like building a team. I feel like team development typically occurs through compatibility. Like right now, we may have like minds or like interest, right? But what's the consistency going to be? The follow through. So it's taken, Randolph Focus has been the first investor into my podcast that's really said, hey, I believe in you. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna work together. And that's taken several months for me to just figure out that piece.
Right. And for me, my biggest thing is like, what do I tell you to do? You know what I mean? As far as, or how, like if somebody comes to me like, man, I love what you're doing, man. How can I get involved? I'm like, man, I'd love for you to be a part of my team, man. I need you to do. Like, I don't know what the hell to tell you to do.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I heard something you said, though. In a previous interview, you said that the best thing you can do for someone is teach them how to make money for them.
Make money for them, exactly.
So it's like, I'm going to piggyback off that interview and use that in this situation. It's like, if someone's going to try to come up to you or I and say, hey, how can I be a part of this team, or how can I do this?
Give me some fucking money, bro.
What service or product are you bringing that's going to be compatible with my needs, okay? I got 3 camera guys here. I need 4.
Right.
Can you do this?
Right.
I need another light.
Right.
Can you manage social media? Like, what can you do? Like, you have to be a valuable service. Otherwise, you're a liability.
Exactly. And I feel like
you in a way.
I kind of run into the roadblock of when building a team is like the people that I feel are willing may lack the skill set. You know what I mean? And then the people that have the skill set aren't willing. You know? Yeah. So that's the part. And then it's like, it's just that, and having the vision. Like, because a lot of times people come into things and they have their preconceived notions of how things are. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you doing that, da 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 da. Just come on. It's like, bro, shit don't work like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like man, it's been times going overseas when I done been overseas. Like, oh shit, I was supposed to make this amount of thousands of dollars, but I just had to spend this amount of thousands of dollars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody that'll be like, "Oh yeah, we out here is lit, bro. It ain't.
It was just
a
free trip.
It's a free trip, bro. But nah, the whole thing is to turn the profit now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where it gets kind of like, just because certain things that I'm doing, I'm not Future. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to balance out. You know?
I was curious. I was thinking back. What music have you done for Yon?
Man, me and Yon did a record. Me and Yon did a record in like 2012. We did a song or 13 called "Shot Callers" with Black Cobain.
Mm-hmm.
We also did a record is Yon, Young Crazy, and Breeze Barker.
Okay.
It's called "Do What You Do," and damn. Me and y'all did like 4 or 5 records.
I didn't know that. Yon's the first artist out of the 757 that really piqued my attention when doing this this podcast thing. It's another artist down here. Is it Alonzo?
Alonzo Jackson.
Yeah, I'm not.
Alonzo Jackson.
Alonzo Jackson. Yeah, he seemed like he's got some pulse in the city.
Yeah. Alonzo's hard.
Yeah.
Alonzo's hard. He comes from a good perspective with his music.
Yeah.
I think with Yon, me and him, we just kind of always missed project time. You know what I mean?
But Yon seemed not to really. He got his hands in so many things that the music is not really a priority.
Yeah,
for him right
and
now.
he'll straight up tell you like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna fuck with the studio today and tomorrow, and then I'm good. You know what I mean? And then randomly in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be in Catch Me When You Catch Me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of.
How much longer you gonna be in Virginia?
I'll probably be in Virginia for another like week or two.
Gotcha, man. You got any plans to make any more trips up to the 804? It's a couple people up there in that area, and also in the Northern Virginia, DC area that I'd love to connect you with. Some phenomenal
for sure.
artists.
Yeah, I probably do because
some networking, some events we got going on.
Yeah, because I was working with Trap Ties Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
learned about him through Crazy, and then I started seeing like he got the streets.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, he's crazy. I fought with his work ethic. Mm-hmm. But him and I got to get in with G Sambo.
We were G Sambo tomorrow.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We working.
Yes, sir.
We working. He's performing tonight with Black Youngster. Yeah.
But yeah, I might shoot up there just because for me that's not even a trip, bro.
Well, yeah. I mean, we want to look, man. This is the second. We want to build this as a relationship.
Right.
You know, so we want to evolve, and I want to be a resource for you. Like I want to be able to offer you something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want anything. I want to offer you something, and I do believe that I got a few people and places where I could say, hey, this may be good energy, just like the energy that we created when you came down there. I got a couple people that I think would be very good to connect with.
It's kind of like a hub. I kind of got a hub there, just like my boy Land,
Young Land.
Land got the studio up there.
Yeah.
And then DJ Punisher, he's working out I think it's Yellow House or something.
Yeah,
like that. So,
not familiar with that studio.
So it's a few studios I kind of got, and so it's like 804 market is wide open.
Yeah, so artist by the name of Trademark I want to put you on. It's just ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, lyrically ridiculous. He's Nas.
Okay, yeah.
He's like that.
Yeah.
That's
a high. Hey, man.
He won't even curse.
That's a high bar.
He won't even curse. He actually drove down from Maryland today. He's probably outside in the park lot. Okay. So I'm gonna introduce you to him.
Yeah,
but sure. As we approach wrapping up, you familiar with the game I like to play?
I forgot it.
I just like to, pull things, think fast.
Yeah. First thing that come to mind.
Think fast, yeah. Are you on one of those super, cool millennial modern day diets where you like vegan and vegetarian and all that? Or are you eating pork and chicken still?
I'm trying to eat better, bro. But man, that shit hard, man. Food is good, bro.
Hey, man.
Food is good, bro.
Yo, my buddy the other day.
You gotta ask me something about chicken, bro. Chicken.
I was gonna say chicken or fish.
Chicken? Oh man, God. Man. I ain't gonna lie I say fish just cause like I'm trying to fall back.
So check this out. I got a suggestion. Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Eat clean. Don't eat no meat.
Right.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, get ignorant.
Crazy.
Just eat. Don't go eat meat.
Yeah, I think it's just discipline, and for me, like I said, in the next 2 or 3 months, I'm planning on just doing a little bit of traveling and stuff. Since I'm gonna be touring, so I'm like trying to focus in right now because moving around with that extra luggage on you is hard.
So you work out?
When I get to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when I get to.
Gotcha.
Because I fluctuate.
I mean, your
so
arms
much.
look like you doing something.
Yeah, bro. Because like when I'm in, because the thing about it is I'm spoiled. When I'm in Atlanta, like my condo that I have a gym in the condo.
Yeah.
So I go crazy. But when I get to Virginia, I get lazy as fuck. Like I'm like,
it's the water, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, damn, bro. So that's what do me dirty every time. You know what I mean?
Got you.
But like I was just telling my guy, I'm like, man, like I gotta knock off just a couple just to get right for the tour and just get my energy up and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Football or basketball?
Football.
Who's your team?
Packers, and we just
really,
lost, man. Yeah, we was almost there.
So you grew up on like Brett Favre, I guess.
Yeah, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Michael Ferguson. Rest in. I don't want to say rest in peace. Reggie White. Did Reggie White pass? Reggie White.
I don't know. I don't watch any football at all. I can't even tell you who's. Well, I couldn't tell you who's in the Super Bowl until last night because I saw it on the bar wall. But I'm a basketball guy. Carolina Tar Heels, Los Angeles Lakers, all day. That's it.
I was always a firm believer of. They got millions. I don't. Not finna watch these millionaires run up and down with no damn ball, bro. They too damn rich, bro. Y'all rich as hell.
That's
and
funny. I'm
not. So I'll watch it and I enjoy it. And I play 2K with you all day long.
Okay, I need to find your 2K name.
Yeah, I play 2K, but that's with all sports, bro. Even like I like football, but I can't watch 4 quarters, bro. I cannot watch 4 quarters of anything, bro. Like you're not gonna get that much time from me, bro. Nope.
Yeah.
I swear.
So I know you've worked with a lot of artists.
Yeah.
But who's your favorite artist as a fan? Who do you like listening to?
Oh. Man.
Such a hard question for a producer, right?
Yeah, man, because it just depends on the mood. I mean, you know what I mean?
Like I'm Jay-Z all day. It don't change. The mood
saying.
don't change. It just don't matter. This whole for me.
See, because that's what's tricky for me. Because like I thought you were just talking about this time period right now. Because if we're gonna say all time, then I'm gonna say Nas.
Okay.
Nas is my favorite artist. But
you got to meet Trey.
That's what you said. That's why when you said that, I was like, all right now, though. All right. But yeah, Nas is my favorite artist of all time. But it's kind of a tricky thing because I don't want to listen to Nas every day.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I'm in my Nas bag, I'm in my Nas bag.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So modern day, who's relevant to you right now that you like listening to?
Modern day, I put Money Man high on the list.
Okay.
I like listening to Money Man. And then like me and his producer, shout out to Trauma Tone, like that's like my right hand man. He's actually from Virginia too. He's from Charlottesville.
Hey, Charlottesville got a rapper like that?
No, Money Man is from Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, Money Man's from Atlanta. His
the producer.
Yeah, Trauma Tone, he's from Charlottesville.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can believe that. The producer.
Yeah,
part.
exactly. Yeah. Charlottesville rapper. Yeah, that's kind of hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I'm a big fan of his, man. I've been listening to his music for a little while.
Childhood crush. Celebrity childhood crush. Crazy took it to another place. Yeah.
Megan Good. Childhood, youthhood, adulthood,
hood.
all hood.
50 Cent hood, all the videos.
No matter what hood. Megan Good. Megan too good. Damn.
What state you think represent hip hop the best?
New York, but now Georgia. But New York.
Yeah.
I mean that's where hip hop is birthed. You know, and birthed from is New York. You know, what I mean that's the culture.
Yeah. So do you like West Coast rap?
To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of West Coast rap.
I'm not either. I don't like Kendrick Lamar like everybody else.
I don't see it like.
Yeah.
Like, again, like somebody like Kendrick has the from a creative point of view, I get it. Bro, this is fucking amazing. Like, the voices, the layers, and everything. Which I hate when people give the artist so much credit for that because somebody needs to get in there and say, "Hey, Kendrick, who's your engineer?
Yeah.
Let's shout out Mixed by Ali. Let's shout out your producers that's making your because." You can't make your voice go in fucking 6 octaves at one time. You know what I mean? It's an engineer that's doing that.
Yeah.
So I feel like, sometimes, when artists get to those levels, they don't have, the engineers kind of get left in the dust and don't get as credited as I feel like they deserve.
Engineers, the producers, the podcasters, the DJs.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
So, creative wise, he's super creative but I don't know. It just feels like a lot of times, like the traditional West Coast music just kind of feels offbeat.
Yeah, I can't get with it.
You know what I mean? I like Boys in the Hood and shit like that though. Like I like,
you
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
When you're not listening to hip hop and you listen to other types of music, what do you like?
Reggae. Listening to Sizzler. Sizzler and Nas is like right there for me.
Gotcha.
I'm bumping Sizzler. I'm bumping Damian Marley. That type of vibe. I call myself trying to get like cultural because I didn't really grow up on like, most people like they'll say like, oh yeah, my mom or my grandma used to clean the house to the oldies and shit. I didn't grow up like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like music was never really big in my household, so I try to get cultural and listen to like oldies and shit, but it's just like.
Both your parents from Jamaica?
Yeah, my whole family's from Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica.
And music was not really. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's just it wasn't really a huge thing. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, before we close, man, can you tell our audience today why you rock with the Randy Wilson podcast?
Man, I rock with the Randy Wilson podcast because everything I've seen thus far has been real and organic. You know what I mean? It's not like some made up stuff like freestyling is real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
You've been a great guest to have on the show. We definitely want to push this to Europe, China, and all over the world. And definitely want to thank Josh, man. Josh, like, I mean, do y'all see this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
definitely big shout out to Josh.
Yeah,
man. Making it happen, man. Virginia Beach Recording Arts Studio.
for sure. It's like everyone I interview just creates and opens up a new door.
Yeah,
and I'm hopeful that someone sees the skill set and continues to develop belief in what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Because my goal is to do my part and making sure that Virginia's on the map.
Yeah, bro. I call it a time capsule, bro. That's what it is. That's all we're doing. We're creating time capsules, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna look back at this 5 years from now and be like, damn, I remember that day.
Yeah.
Look at where I'm at now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's all these time capsules, bro.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I'm surprised you ain't at the Grammys, bro.
Thank you for letting me be in your time capsule.
Yo, man, thank you. We shared this space together.
Yes, sir.
You could have been at the Grammys, though.
Yeah, I did. I could have been, but like I said, my father is sick. So
Yeah, that's right. That's
That's kind of held me captive to Virginia for a little while. But
Well,
shout out
prayers-
to all my homies.
Prayers to him, man.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's one thing that keep me real faithful in this game because I got a lot of friends that's Grammy nominated. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it's about time.
Hands is itching.
Yeah,
it's
you gonna
about
get
time.
one. Yeah, you gonna get one.
I got too many friends that's like at the Grammys, like in the mix. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time.
If you ever
for
need a
that
few
now.
ad libs or bars, I got some for you. So something you know,
Come on
man.
with it, bro. Let's get it.
Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 27 of the Randy Wilson podcast. We appreciate you and good night.
Sir.
Yes, bro.
My dog. Yes, sir.
Hey, Kino, that old Boosie talk through that shit. Mama told me, you see him, but you don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to live in that. You folks ain't really living that like that. Dead and in jail.